Hi everybody, welcome to this final round guide video for the big game 9-hole cup. We're playing expert division here on the channel for this one. Please give me a thumb up on the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Join me on Sunday, that is of course tomorrow, for my end of season finale stream. Special guest Golf Clash Tommy discussing all things about Golf Clash. Chance for you to have your say and give feedback and suggestions on the game as well. So join us, 8 PM UK time, that is on Sunday. Plenty of drops here, take a token or two, get familiar with the setups and tweak as needed. Let's get started with hole number 1. Good luck. With this wind angle we're going to play a no move target shot, but it's with the quarterback and a power 2 ball to begin with. Make sure you start with the right ball and the right club. So QB, power 2 ball, then switch to your APOC and then switch to your Kingmaker. Then we're going to add spin, 5.2 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the right. Adjustment here, max plus 10, maximum distance 10%. Elevation only gets us into plus 2 yards with this wind strength and angle. Full overpower, slower needle shot, 0.8 ball curl to the right. Single greats have been fine either side in testing with this club level. Not so sure about APOC 4, but of course it's a slightly slower needle, good chance of hitting perfect. We missed the rough nicely and approached the end of the rough without risking going long, 347 yards. Second shot, bottom white pin check, BWPC on the notepad, where the bottom of the white ring touches the pin. Plus 4 here, we're going to go 70% slider, 25% elevation. Add spin, it's 2.1 back spin, 2 right spin, and you can see I'm moving left and right there and finding a fairly generous funnel where the ball guide is going to the pin, but it is not moving around much at all when I'm moving the target left and right. So try and find that funnel. You might need to tweak your spins if you're not quite in that funnel. But a consistent drive should get you pretty much in the right spot. Pull over the bullseye here, 70% slider for a plus 4 check, and we're going at 25% elevation. Hit perfect here, and this is going to catch the funnel very, very nicely. You might even get it in with a minor great ball as well for your eagle. A very tough shot here. Please practice this one before going live. With the Guardian, 5 backspin. There is a lot to do in the time, so be quick on this one. 5 backspin, find your position, plus 8 yards with a Guardian level 9, ball guide to the hole. Then we're going to push back in a straight line to the tee to plus 3 yards, just where it ticks over to plus 3. Make sure you push back in a straight line. If you don't want to do that, you can try and set up blind. There's a little picture to get yourself started. Look at the second bounce. It's above the left edge of the dark green square column. So you don't have to find your position first and push back if you think you're going to time out. You can just try and set up blind if you want to. That would be at the top of plus 3. Max plus 15, power 3 settings. Because we adjust to a higher point, we bounce further away, which means we catch the rough and we drop for a hole in one, but please take a token. On this par 5, we're going to start with the APOC 5 and above at the just before plus yards. With APOC 4, that's going to be the top of plus 6. 5 top spin, 3 right spin. APOC 5 and 6 will have half of the red ring inside the rough. On the right, adjustment here, maximum distance, 0 elevation. Max plus 0. Making our adjustment there, for me that is 6 rings. And then we're going to take our shot and we're going with a 0.8 ball curl to the right, just before the circle drops as our overpower reference. There's our perfect ball. Bouncing comfortably away from the rough, rolling along the fairway towards the edge of the rough here. Drive distance, you're going to be in the region of 340 to 345. Second shot here is an attempt at a rough bump, very close miss. White fringe check of plus 11, but in the end I actually have landing position plus yards, so you can use that instead, but I put that reference in just in case. We're going here with 6 top spin and 2 left spin, ball guide through the hole. However, I would like you to tweak the spin slightly here, judging on the miss that I'm going to show you in the video. Landing position plus yards, 0 elevation, plus 2 is going to be 78%. So plus 2, going to be 78% slider. Sniper 10 is required here, unfortunately, because of the top spin and distance that you require. Perfect ball away, and you'll just see a very close miss here, so I would like you to tweak the spin. I like the adjustment because we're landing where we aim, but just tweak the spin slightly to have that ball guide 1 cup to the right of the hole. For this rough bump, we're going to start with a basic ball in pretty much straight headwind angle. We're going to add spin first. It's 1.4 backspin, or a light 1.5, whichever you want to call it. And we want to find our position with the bullseye on the last bit of rough before you get the long ball guide. And the ball guide is going to be through the left half of the cup. So make sure you don't get that big bounce. You want that clipped away ball guide going through the hole on the left hand side of the cup. Using a basic ball to add spin because I don't want any unwanted or hidden side. Then we switch to a Kingmaker or Kingslayer. Try and keep the wind below 8 miles per hour. And the adjustment is max plus 10, power 2 settings. Max plus 10, P2 settings. I'm zooming in to adjust the rings here for accuracy and just so that I get a good view of all of the rings that I need to adjust. Subject to any wind angle tweaks that you may need, perfect ball away is going to catch the rough very safely, and we're tracking in very nicely for hole in 1. Here we're going to play over to the right hand side on hole 5, this par 4, because we cannot send it with this nasty wind angle. Quarterback 9 and above, red ring touching the rough on the left at the top of plus 12. Then we add spin, 5 top spin, 2 right spin, and then we're going to change to our Apocalypse and Thorn bag. Max plus 5 is our adjustment on this one, so a nice simple way to find your start point with the quarterback. Then you're going to switch to the APOC, and the reason I do that is because it's an easier reference, because there's no plus yards here to refer to really, so that's why we're starting with the QB. Max plus 5, power 3, and then we're just going to take a plain ball shot, no curl, no overpower, just centre the ball nicely in the adjustment ring, hit perfect, and this is going to set you up with a nice attempt with your short iron, and we're going to make a rough check coming up. Drive distance here though, we're pulling up nicely before the bunker because there's an uphill slope of around 325. Now the rough check here is the second cut of rough, so it's the darker rough line just before the advert board, so make sure you do the right rough check. 3 bars of backspin. And for a plus 4 rough check, we're going to play 37% slider, 30% elevation. If your rough check was plus 2, that means you're nearer, and you would then go with 33%. It's 2% per yard. But you're only going to have to worry about that if you hit a great left or a great right, most likely, because of the design of the hole. So 37% slider, 30% elevation, obviously 3 backspin, and the ball guide aiming to the cup as shown. Pulling over the bullseye, fairly downhill here, you can see that view, you can only just see the flag, can't see any of the flag stick at all, that's why we need 30% elevation, and we're dropping this one right at the pin. Before we carry on, quick reminder to you, if you've not subscribed to the channel already, please hit that button right now. It's totally free to do so. Almost 50% of the people that view the channel are not subscribed, so please become a subscriber. Help me get to the wonderful 20,000 subscriber milestone. I would hugely appreciate it. Start with a quarterback on this par 5, and we're going to have the blue ring touching a rough line at the top of plus 7 yards. Takes me a while to actually find the right position here, but there we go. Then we're going to switch to our big topper and sniper bag. Adding spin next, max top spin and 1.5 left spin. You can see I prioritise left spin. You won't get your full top spin here, just make sure you have your max top spin possible with 1.5 left spin added. Max plus 10, power 3. And then we are going to make our adjustment here. Make sure you've got no 1201 here. You don't want to have the first bounce landing in the rough with tailwind. So if anything, then you might want to favour 1159 if you think you are a natural 1201 person. Half a ball of curl to the left, but I pull straight across. I'm not finding the point where the shot circle drops, so make sure that you don't do that either, because you don't want to overpower it accidentally. Catches the rough nicely, drive distance around 340. Now we're going to add spin first here, 1.5 bars of top spin, and then we're going to find our position with the red ring touching the rough, and then you'll see here how I leave my ball guide. It's intentionally a little bit short of the pin, and it's also pointing to the right edge of the cup. If you were to extend that out, you would just see there, actually it's just a little bit to the side of the right edge of the cup, just a couple of clicks. Pause the video and get a good screenshot or a mental image of that. For a drive of 340, so it was taken from a different drive in the video, we're going to play this one 45% slider, and it's -5 elevation. Okay, -5 elevation here. More information on using the slider, if it's new to you, we've got tutorials on that. Same thing with reference checks and rings from min and all of that. One drops very nicely with that offset for the Albatross. Here we are going to play with some side spin this time, so I don't need to start with a basic ball. 3 back spin, 1 left spin. The reason I go with that is because then I'm not going to pull ridiculously up the fairway on my adjustment. Yellow ring touching the rough line, ball guide to the pin, and we're going to play it 1 to 1. I would recommend you keep the wind below 8, otherwise you're going to pull dramatically onto the fairway. It might cause you to hit the rough too high. So if you're not able to use a wind 4 ball in high winds, take a token or two first and just maybe build in a tweak or two if needed for high winds. So 1 to 1, adjust as accurately as you can. It's a bit tricky pulling up the slope, so try and get a nice straight pull and an accurate adjustment. Centre the ball, and obviously wind angle tweaks might be needed. If you have more tailwind, I might suggest you go with a click of underpower just to compensate, but we're dropping that one nicely for the hole in one. We're going to start with our quarterback, blue ring touching the rough at P3 max, and then we're going to add spin, 3 top spin, 1 right spin, and then we switch to our Apocalypse or Thor's hammer or whatever you want. Switch to your distance driver. Nasty wind angle here, so that's why we're playing right side for an approach with our sniper. Max plus 10, power 3 settings. Making our adjustment here. This is going to be easily great safe, even with a lower level Apocalypse. You can see adjusting to plus 8 with APOC 5 and above would be plus 14 with APOC 4. In higher winds it might take you into overpower. If it does, then I would apply whatever you adjust into on your shot as well. It's not going to be much though. Perfect ball away, very nice roll down the fairway. It's going to be around 322 yards. Second shot, find the minimum distance line, white ring touching the rough. Then we're pushing up 5 rings from min in order to have room to adjust. I pull up in a straight line looking directly at the ball because it's easier to pull straight for me than push up. Then we're going to add spin as needed. It will vary, but here you can see it's approximately 3.8 back spin and a bit of left spin, but you want the ball guide pointing at the pin and stopping just a little bit short, as in only a click or two short of the front of the cup. We're going to play rings from min, minus 10% elevation, but power 4 settings. Now, for pushing up 5 rings from min, you're going to play that one 13% on the slider. I've never had to use a different amount of rings from min. If for some reason your drive went a bit wayward, you find any glitchy spots, which is unlikely but it could happen, then you might just need to vary your push-up. But for me, 5 rings up from min, working very nicely for our eagle. Now the very tedious par 5, we're going to set up here with our APOC directly. At the top of plus 4 with APOC 5, top of plus 10 with APOC 4, and then we're adding spin. 5.8 top spin, 2 right spin. With APOC 5 and 6, you've got half of the blue ring inside the rough. It's going to be about 20% of the blue ring on the fairway, or 80% of it in the rough, if you've got APOC 4 as an estimate there. Max plus 5, power 3, and then we're going to take our shot. We're going with full overpower. It is going to be a little bit shaky with APOC 4, but there's plenty of fairway here, so I think you should be okay with a minor great, but take a token or two. If you want to, you can use a power 4 ball or a power 5 ball if you want to go down that route with a luminary, would give you a slower needle. Max over power, no curl, 375, absolutely fine. Second shot, we're going to transport ourselves down the fairway with the sniper. For top spin, probably around half a bar of right spin. If you hit a great ball on the drive though, you might need to tweak it, but you want to aim in the middle of the rough on the left and the edge of the bunker there where it sticks out on the right, just to the side of that little ridge in the fairway. Adjust 1-to-1, and we're going to favour 11.59. If you have any 12.01 here, you risk gaining too much distance and you don't want to get any rolls into the bunker. So 11.59 favour will just safeguard against that. We've got tutorials on 11.59 and 12.01 on the channel as well. So check out the Academy playlist. So 1-on-1, 8.4 rings for an 8.4 wind, hit perfect. This one is going to bounce over the rough very nicely and rolls towards the bunker, but we're just going to lay up nicely there for our thorn for the eagle. Now, I didn't get a chance to drop this one for you this morning, unfortunately, but I'm suggesting a tweak instead. White ring pin check of +2, so have the middle of the white ring over the pin. I would suggest you're going to go 70% on the slider here. That would be an equivalent of an extra 0.2, I think, on what I adjusted in the video. Spin as shown, so it's going to be a couple of bars top spin, 2 bars right spin. Ball guide offset to the right of the pin there, with the inner ring or the green ring touching the rough line. We're going -5 elevation, so for this white ring pin check of +2, instead of what I did in the video, I would suggest you go 70% instead. But take a token or two, build a tweak in. If it's not working, you could also increase your offset if you are still missing to the left of the pin. Pulling over the bullseye, plenty of references there for you to build a tweak from and work from. I've given it a perfect, and try and get yourself an eagle on this very long and a rather dull par 5. Thank you very much for watching this video on the Big Game 9-hole cup here on the channel. Hope you've enjoyed it and found it useful. Please join us over on Facebook as well. Over 12,000 members there. Free guides, shot sharing, discussion points, and a chance to interact with me and loads of other helpful members of the community as well. Free to join. I'll see you over there. Good luck everybody. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye for now.